Hey, ladies, how are y'all? I hope y'all are staying warm. It is so cold outside. My computer says it's 26 degrees right now. Yikes. It is so cold out there. So I hope you guys are staying warm, staying safe, praying for anybody out there that is driving. I know my husband drives and delivers, and I get so super anxious about him, but I am trusting the Lord to guide him. But I hope y'all are being warm and being safe. So today, let's talk about the 5 stages of grief. Um, so First of all, if you are going through a loss, please know that my heart goes out to you. I am praying for you. Feel free to reach out to me anytime to talk to us, to my husband or me. If you and your husband would like to, to talk to him, have a male perspective, Darren is happy to talk to anybody. And so reach out to us if anybody is going through a loss and you're feeling a little lonely, you're feeling a little sad. We're here for you guys. But I wanted to hop on here and just talk a little bit about the 5 stages of grief, because I think oftentimes when we're going through grief, we don't really think about those stages. And for me, it's important that we do think about those stages, because it lets us know that we're okay, that we're excuse me for saying this, but we're not crazy. And I say that because I know I've gone through those times where I've just felt like, oh my gosh, I'm nuts for thinking this. I'm nuts for thinking this way. I'm going crazy. And so I think it's important for us to remember that these are natural ways of going through grief. And so I want to go through those with you. And we're just going to go through those briefly. I'm not going to go into anything too deep. I do plan on going through each stage of grief at some point. But right now, I just kind of wanted to touch on them a little bit. We are getting close to the holiday season. And so I know for me, even this cold weather tends to bring a little bit of sadness for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it is a reminder that we're getting into the holiday season or what it is. But there is something for me about when the weather starts to get cold that I start to get a little sad, and I start to miss those babies that we lost. And so let's talk about the 5 stages of grief. And so the first stage of grief is denial. And first of all, I also want to put a disclaimer out there that you might not go through these stages like one after the other, or you might even go back to one of the stages as you're going through your grieving. Through the grieving process. And so there's no one shoe fits all. There's no one way that somebody goes through all of the stages of grief. And this is why I tell y'all to try to do something, at least one thing normal each day as you're going through the grieving season, because it's just normal reminds you that you're okay and that you're going to be okay. And so just finding that one thing and then graduating to 2 things and then graduating to 3 things lets you know that you're going to be okay. And so that first stage is denial, where you're just kind of denying that it happens. Maybe you're even like, you know what, I'm just going to move forward. I'm going to be strong. I'm okay. And then you just go through it. And where that sounds brave at first, and I'm not trying to put anybody down. I've gone through that before several times on this journey. I've gone through that. You know what? I'm okay. Let's buckle on. And then come to find out, I actually wasn't okay. I needed to go through the feels, and I didn't allow my heart to go through it because I was in the stage of denial. The next stage that I want to talk about is anger. And I think that is a common one, especially when it comes to pregnancy loss or infertility, is that anger, feeling angry at God, feeling angry at the world, feeling angry at our bodies. And so that is a common stage to go through, where you just feel angry. The next stage is bargaining. I know I've gone through bargaining while I was in the midst of a miscarriage, and just begging God, like, God, I'll do anything. Let's bargain here. Just bargaining, even in the trying to conceive stage, just that bargaining, that, Lord, please allow me to be pregnant right now. I promise this, that, and this. It's that bargaining. A lot of people bargain even like well after a death has happened. They still go through some bargaining, and so that'll look different throughout each different stage of your grieving. But you can always go back to the bargaining. The next stage I want to talk about is depression. Just feeling that feel of, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. I found myself shortly after my dad died going through depression, where the weight of the world just felt like it was so heavy on my chest that it was hard to get up. And that was depression. And so that is a common stage of grief, whether you're going through infertility or going through pregnancy loss. It's a common stage to go through, and you're okay. You're going to be okay. Nothing isn't too hard for the Lord to get you through. Just lean into Him and know that He is right there with you. He is going to meet you where you are, even in the ugly depths of depression. He will be there for you. And then, of course, acceptance, the stage of acceptance, and finally accepting it, and finally, saying, okay, I'm accepted this. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to move forward. I've accepted that this loss has happened. And so those are the 5 stages of grief. Obviously, the acceptance is the 5th stage, because that is often the stage that gets you into the healing process. But again, it is not uncommon to go back to, maybe you hit the acceptance stage. It's not uncommon to go right back to anger or even denial. And then you sort through that, and then you might even go through another stage of grief, or then you might be right back to acceptance. There's no one size fits all for the stages of grief, or for going through any of these stages. It's all different for everybody, and each loss is different. Each season is different. But it's important that you know that you're loved, that God is with you, that He sees you through it all. He's going to meet you right where you are. He is putting His loving arms around you and just filling you with His presence, and His love and His acceptance. And so lean into Him, no matter what stage of grief that you find yourself in, or you might find yourself in. Lean into Him and know that He is good, and that He is God. He is the creator of you, and He knows you by name. He knows every hair of hair on your head, even my little annoying hairs right here. He has counted those all this morning, because He loves me that much, and He loves you that much, and He is going to recount all of these little hairs tonight and when I go to bed, and that's what He does for all of us. So I love y'all. Enjoy the cold weather. Stay warm. Stay careful. And thank y'all so much for being a part of this group. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. Be blessed, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.